Thank you for joining me in Ron's basement on what is a bad morning for the price of gold and the price of silver. We got employment numbers this morning. We're going to talk about those in this video. Also, we're going to talk about why those numbers made the price of gold and silver go down. But most importantly, let's have a cynical, critical discussion. We're going to take a step back and look at the forest through the trees, do a little analytical thinking, use our intellectual horsepower, look at the big picture, what's going on, and if we apply a little bit of criticism or cynicism to the numbers that we're getting and what's going on in the precious metal sector, we might see that a more positive story will unfold for the price of gold, for the price of silver, as we move into the coming months, quarters, and years. Let's get started right now. We're going to have an interesting conversation about three key components of these numbers, of the market reaction to what's going on. Three key things that we will apply some criticism to, some cynicism to. It's very interesting, and it will help us as we look at the big picture as to why we hold silver, gold, and the precious metal mining stocks. But first, let's talk about these great employment numbers. It was expected that 255,000 jobs would be created. Somehow, magically, it must be Joe Biden's economic miracle. 263,000 jobs were created. The unemployment rate dropped from 3.7 to 3.5%. Now, let's move on to gold's reaction. Gold and silver went down. That's because good employment numbers, the market narrative says that means the Fed can continue with their aggressive, hawkish, whatever you want to call it, raising interest rates, make the dollar go up. And that is bad for the price of gold and silver. This is all temporary though, guys, because next we're going to talk about three key areas that I want to examine. I want to apply some of our criticism, critical thinking skills to, and see if things maybe look a little more optimistic for gold and silver. Point number one, and we need to remember as we look at these points, everything around us has been kind of contorted and perverted over the last several decades. But let's look at our overall economy and recognize that these job numbers kind of fit within the framework of our overall economy, and it has been nursed along, held together by duct tape and bubble gum, jerry-rigged, whatever you want to call it. Things in our economy, in our financial system, in our monetary system, we could go on for hours, but we know that they are interesting to say the least. Things have been just contorted and perverted over the last several decades. I heard someone joke this morning that 96.5% of Americans have a job right now and that it sure as heck doesn't feel that way. Well, whether or not you have a job, you are always welcome here in Ron's basement. You're important, and your presence here means a lot to me. I appreciate you giving me some of your precious time. If you enjoy my content, I put out a new video every day. You can subscribe right here. Don't forget to turn on the bell notifications. Please give the video a thumbs up. You can share it with anyone you like, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know if you're seeing help wanted signs at your local McDonald's and Walmart. I hear a lot of people saying they're disappearing. Now let's get back to the video. The second thing we'll apply some critical thinking to are these economic statistics themselves. Look, it's been proven, it's been written about ad nauseum, that whether you're looking at the inflation numbers or if you're looking at the jobs numbers, these numbers are massaged and manipulated so they look the way that the people in power want them to look at any given time. So this morning, when we get this great news about all these jobs that were created and the record low unemployment rate, we can look at that with a bit of skepticism and cynicism. And finally, point number three, when we look specifically at the employment numbers, I hear a few people talking about this, but it's absolutely a fact recognized by the smart people in the market. Employment numbers, drops in employment, it's a lagging indicator. What that means is if the economy is indeed slowing down, it takes 3 to 6 months for that to be reflected in the employment numbers. So when the Fed and CNBC is saying, oh, look at these incredible employment numbers, blah, 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 things could right now be falling apart right below their very feet. So today was a challenging day for gold, right? Yeah, sure. We would have liked to have seen different, maybe the true economic stats come out. That would have been good for our friends gold and silver, but it is what it is. And what's important is that if we take a step back and kind of look at the big picture, factor in how manipulated these numbers are, factor in that eventually the truth always does come out. We know when the truth does come out, the price of gold and silver will react in a positive manner. That'll be a good day for us all. Remember, big party here in Ron's basement. You know you're always welcome here. Until next time, you be well.